A whisper echoed through the cockpit, and in that moment everything changed. It was supposed to be a normal flight. Clear skies, a trusted crew, and nothing unusual on the radar, until that whisper. The captain leaned forward, lowered his voice, and said only 6 words. "We're losing everything. Stay calm." In the cockpit, every alarm that could possibly go off did. Altitude dropping, power systems failing, navigation screens flickering like dying lights. The black box audio captured their rising panic and their desperate fight to survive. Just minutes before the whisper, Flight 237 was cruising peacefully at 33,000 feet. Everything was stable, routine, just another day at the office. But deep within the aircraft's complex network of wires, a silent electrical failure was already spreading, invisible, unstoppable. It attacked the plane from within, like a virus, cutting systems one by one, until the pilots finally realized the horrifying truth. The plane they were flying was no longer theirs to control. It was falling, and they were just along for the ride. At 2:17 p.m., the black box recorded the captain's chilling whisper. In that instant, the cockpit fell into a state of controlled chaos. Both main generators failed simultaneously. Backup power, the system designed for this very emergency, refused to start. The plane was now flying completely blind. For the next 60 seconds, the pilots fought a losing battle against a machine that had turned on them. A 200-ton glider hurtling through the sky without sight or sound. "Try manual control," the first officer shouted, his voice strained with effort. But the controls were stiff, heavy, unresponsive. It was like the aircraft wasn't listening anymore. They were gliding, dangerously fast, with no idea where the ground was or how quickly it was approaching. The world outside their windows was just a blur of white cloud. They were trapped, suspended between the sky and an earth they couldn't see. In the cabin, passengers felt the sudden, sickening drop. Drinks spilled, objects flew, and people grabbed their armrests, knuckles white. The initial nervous laughter faded into a tense silence. Across the aisle, someone whispered to their neighbor, their voice trembling, "This isn't turbulence." They were right. It was something far, far worse. Back in the cockpit, facing total system failure, the captain made a choice. Without power, without instruments, without any altitude readings, he had only one move left. It was a gamble that could save them all or seal their fate. He began a blind emergency descent, pushing the nose of the powerless aircraft down, hoping to break through the thick cloud layer before it was too late. It was a race against gravity. And then, a miracle. At 9,000 feet, the aircraft finally dipped below the endless sea of clouds, revealing a flat open stretch of land below. It wasn't an airport, but it was a chance, a place they could attempt a landing, if the plane could still be controlled at all. They had a visual on the ground, but the fight was far from over. The captain whispered again. This time, it was only to himself, a quiet plea to the dying machine around him. Hold together, just a little longer. With failing hydraulics and dying controls, he wrestled the massive aircraft, aligning its nose with the stretch of green earth. The impact was brutal, a violent bone-jarring skid across the field, but it was survivable. When the dust settled, every single passenger walked away. No lives were lost, no fire erupted. There was only a stunned collective disbelief. Investigators later said that in the face of complete catastrophe, one thing saved them. The captain's calm voice, the whisper that started it all. If this story shook you, imagine how many more moments like this are hidden inside black box recordings. Every week, we open another file, another crisis, another 60 seconds that stood between a routine flight and total disaster. Subscribe now, and don't miss the next moment that changed everything.